With Ian setting its sights on the mountains in a few days, officials are being proactive.
News 13's Anjali Patel shows us how emergency officials in McDowell and Rutherford counties are getting ready.
In preparation for the expected impacts of Ian, the town of Lake Lure is lowering the lake level by 3 feet. You can already see where the water level has started receding. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
We are preparing for 6 to 8 inches of rainfall, and we know that forecast can change from really hour to hour, but emergency services has to be prepared. We can't afford not to prepare and be caught off guard.
Ian threatening to bring heavy rainfall to western North Carolina, especially the eastern part of the mountains like McDowell County.
Throughout this week, we've been checking disaster equipment, checking generators, making sure our communication systems are all ready to go and operational.
The county's Emergency Operations Center not activated, but ready if needed. Emergency officials monitoring the whole county, but keeping an especially close eye on some places.
We have a number of campgrounds along the Catawba and the North Fork Catawba River. We also have some campgrounds along the smaller creeks and along the Broad. So that all of those areas and trouble spots that we've historically had or have a history of flooding.
And historically, with heavy rain comes concerns about landslides.
We saw over 50 different landslides during Tropical Storm Alberto back in 2018, which was a significant event for us. So we're always on guard for landslides. As well as flash flooding.
Over in Rutherford County, the town of Lake Lure is lowering the lake levels.
We had already been down about a foot due to evaporation and natural causes like that. We're taking it down an additional 3 feet.
And with the mountains a top destination in the fall, officials urge tourists to be weather aware too.
I would say that if you are not here already, consider not coming here.
Now here in Lake Lure, town officials are encouraging both tourists and locals to sign up for their mass notification services that can help keep you informed about any potential safety hazards. We'll have a link for you over on WLOS.com.
And Jason, a little more than a year ago, Haywood County dealt with the remnants of Tropical Storm Fred. And this is video right here from March of 2021 showing some of the damage residents experienced. One area hit especially hard in the county was Crusoe. And News 13's Rex Hodge went there this morning and he checked on the preparations as Hurricane Ian heads north.
He also wanted to see how flood victims are coping with the threat of more heavy rain that's headed for the mountains.
Most of the campers and debris piles have now been removed from the Laurel Bank campground here in Crusoe. You can still see the path of destruction here in the power of Fred when the Pigeon River flooded here by looking at all this rocky rubble. You can imagine the owner is watching Ian this time around very closely.
There's nothing you can do.
When Fred hit in August 2021, Sherry MacArthur felt helpless. Water roared through the campground. 6 Crusoe residents lost their lives, most of them from Laurel Bank. The rushing water wiped the campground virtually clean. If Ian brings heavy rain and high water again,
I expect it to come back through if we do get a lot from Ian. It's scary.
One saving grace for MacArthur.
There's no one in here for me to have to worry to get out if it does get up. God knows I miss all my people.
MacArthur still lives at the campground, prepared to leave should the threat of flooding make a return visit. So what's the fire department doing to be at the ready?
Well, we're just listening to the folks here at Emergency Services.
Daryl Henderson is the assistant chief at the Crusoe Fire Department.
Making sure generators firing and ready to go in the case of a power outage. Making sure all of our vehicles are equipped and the equipment's ready to go in the event that we have to deploy anything at a moment's notice.
And Henderson says he has a roster of more than 30 volunteers to call on.
Especially after last year's flooding in the event of Fred, it tuned a lot of people in, and so they're willing to throw in there a little bit more maybe than they normally would.
The Fred experience yielding more precise planning, but still leaving residents like MacArthur wondering what to do with her coveted campground.
And it's just pretty much worthless property. They won't give me any type of a permit for building anything, really.
A weather emergency plan in place, but for MacArthur, a life plan remains vague.
I don't know. I'm still lost. I still cry.
MacArthur says she's still not quite certain what she'll do to make ends meet.
Here at home, local organizations are preparing for the impact of the storm. Many are gathering and shipping supplies to those in Florida. News 13's Stephanie Santastasi joins us now from the live desk. Steph, how can people help?
Well, Jay, one easy way for people to help here is by donating blood. Take a look here at this video. This is video sent to us from the Blood Connection. So far, the organization has sent more than 1,000 blood donations to blood centers in Florida. Staff began preparing these blood products Tuesday morning as the orders poured in. They worked to quickly get the blood to its destination before the storm caused major travel issues. The Blood Connection is now looking for people here to come donate to help replenish that supply. Meanwhile, in Swannanoa, Hearts with Hands volunteers and staff spent the morning preparing to head south. The organization is sending heavy equipment, a trailer load of relief supplies, and other items to the state of Georgia. All of this will stay at a campsite in Georgia until the storm is complete.
Our immediate needs relief supplies, that's going to be our Box of Hope non-perishable food boxes, hygiene kits, both men and women. We have cleaning buckets for areas where houses need to be cleaned or cars can be cleaned, something like that.
The Hearts with Hands warehouse will be open for several days. People can bring donations here. Monetary donations will also be accepted. The staff here can then use that money to replenish its truck of supplies for the people most impacted.